Well, hey guys, welcome back to Music Talk with John. I know it's been a little bit since I put out a video. I've just been burned out, I think. Holidays ended and just getting through all that, getting all the Christmas decorations down. We are the family that hosts everybody, so it's like everything is done here. And we do the cooking, make sure the house is clean, set up all the tables. We usually have about like 15 to 20 people that are in for the holidays. So just getting through all that, and then my daughter had a birthday in January, so we have a family, on her birthday, we have family over for that. Then she has a party, so we had that. So I think we're just getting through all that, and we're the host family, like I said. So we do Thanksgiving. So we're moving for 2-3 months, just nonstop, and then getting all the stuff down and everything. But anyway, I think I was just burned out. I have videos that have been created. For my daughter, she has a channel. If you haven't seen it, Rolling with Allie, she has a channel, and I feel bad because I haven't put her videos out. But I've just, at night, it's my time to do stuff, and everybody's kind of in bed sleeping. Just lately, either just the lack of desire, which is really weird because I love doing the editing part just as much as I like the creating part. But I just got over here 10:30 at night and just looked at the computer and go, I'm going to bed. And I realized I needed the rest. I needed the sleep too. So it's been a struggle. So I'm trying to get back into it. I needed to kind of take a break. I know some people even take a break off from their channel sometimes, even for a month. Yeah, that's not a bad idea, but that creative part of me doesn't allow that. So anyway, when I was going into the new year, I was like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. And I kind of did it and kind of didn't. I'm half and half on my resolution, but I'm heading in the right direction. I think. I'm trying. So what I was going to do is I wanted to slow down on the buying and really focus on the albums that I have in here, because I was realized for a long time that I have these albums in here that I just don't know. You have this collection for a reason. Yeah, there's the fun part of buying, but there's the part too of, why don't I listen to what I have? That's would be a good idea. So I did that. So I came into the new year, and I keep a spreadsheet and all that of everything I listen to and all that. Organize everything. Every album that I have is in a spreadsheet. So I came in the new year doing good. I started to get through some of the albums. There's some Ray Charles in there that I needed to listen to because I bought them when I first started collecting vinyl, and they have the pops and clicks, and I wasn't as picky back then. So I'm making some decisions. I'm making notes. I make notes in the spreadsheet too. So when I'm out buying records, I know what to look for. I know what I want to replace. I know what's not in great shape. So it seems nerdy or whatever, but it's actually saves me money, saves me time by having that list. And it's kind of a fun part of it too. I've always been a nerd with spreadsheets, so it's perfect. So I started listening to getting through some of these. There's been a couple I'm like, yeah, this is just bad. I don't want to, I have a better needle now. I don't want to put the pressure on it. So I pulled some out to get rid of. I pulled some out that, I'm just not into. I got like kind of just on a whim, and now I realize I'm not into them, and I want to save that, give that space to something that I like. So I'm starting to do that, getting more familiar with my record collection. By doing that, you have this thing when you have new records, and I get new records in, I listen to those first. I put them over here and I listen to them. So I spend a lot of my time listening to the new stuff and not getting to the old stuff. So I figured by slowing down the buying, I could spend more time listening to what I have. That was the goal. So I did get in there, and I have started doing a better job of listening to my collection. So I'm glad I'm doing that. But at the same time, I still bought stuff because I have a wish list, and I have this wish list so that I can control myself a little bit by going, hey, if it's not on your wish list, don't get it. If you see something you like, well, put it to the side, go listen to it, stream it, whatever, make sure you want it. So if I'm out and there's stuff on my wish list, cool. And the wish list is stuff that I've had a hard time finding a good shape, whatever, just finding. And I went out probably the first week of January and had my wish list, and I go, and I couldn't believe how many of my wish list I found. So that didn't help. And then meantime, I picked up a couple jazz and things like that. Yeah. Good thing is I've listened to everything that I have now. I think I've listened to everything in there, maybe except for 2. So I'm getting there, controlling it. But I'm trying to bring that back, like I said. and get into it. So let me show you what I got. So recent pickups. So this one I didn't listen to yet, but I'm getting into Joe Strummer a little bit. I've always liked his voice and what he did with the Clash. Yeah, this is just an EP, but it was like very cheap, so I went ahead and picked it up, and I'm probably going to end up getting some more Joe Strummer in the future. He might make my wish list, but again, I'm going to stream it. So this has this was a record store day thing. Yeah, record store day, Black Friday. Can't remember. I don't think it was this one. It might have been a year ago. I don't think it was this past one from last year. I think it was 2 years. It has Joe Strummer, Johnny Appleseed, 12-inch single At the Border guy celebrating the 20th anniversary of the classic album Global A Go-Go. Limited edition pink vinyl. So I haven't even opened it yet. So I'm not going to do it right now because I got a lot to show you. But pink vinyl, picked that up. And I got the new, went ahead and picked this up. The new Green Day. It's an exclusive limited edition, half black, half hot pink. And I think, yeah, I'm going to get that video up first. I just did a video at Kingfish and he showed the record. It's pretty cool because it's not right down the middle, black and pink. It's kind of like off a little bit, so it's pretty cool. It's not like perfect. So that's pretty cool. And it's grown on me a little bit, this album. The big thing was, you know, it came with this. It's a sleeve. I didn't put it on because I'm having a hard time putting it on with the plastic still on the album. So I didn't want to force anything, but it kind of looks like this. It's a neat little sleeve. Here, I'll back it up. That wasn't on the wish list. I broke my rule right there. My wish list contains a lot of Blakey, Lou Donaldson. Lou Donaldson I'm having a hard time finding. This is the Jazz World. So I was able to pick this one up. I think this one had been out for a little while. This is Meet You at the Jazz Corner of the World, Art Blakey. This is volume 1, I just realized recently. So there's the volume 2. I'll be keeping an eye out. So it's Blue Note, classic vinyl. This is great sounding album. It's Blakey, so it doesn't disappoint me. I love Blakey. So, but this one did come out recently as a reissue. It wasn't a Tone Poet, it's just a Blue Note classic vinyl series. Mosaic, Art Blakey, Jazz Messengers. And who do we have on this one? Sorry, my dog's out there barking. On this one, Meet Me at the Jazz Corner of the World, Jazz Messenger, you have Lee Morgan on trumpet, Wayne Shorter on tenor sax. Love that lineup. Bobby Timmons on piano, and Jimmy Merritt on bass. So really good lineup. I think this was this similar? So Mosaic, really good sounding album. Great hard bop. Just, you know, I love jazz, drummer-led jazz. 1 second. Sorry, I had to reprimand my dog. She's just barking at the door. Yeah, on Mosaic, you have Freddie Hubbard on trumpet. So it is a different lineup. Curtis Fuller on trombone, Wayne Shorter, yeah, he was on this one. Tenor sax, Cedar Walton on piano, Jimmy Merritt on bass, same bass player. So very good. If you see these are definitely recommended. And you know, people say, where would you start, you know, jazz beginners? This is not bad for jazz beginners. I don't think it gets too out there. It might have been, one of these did get a little squeaky that might be uncomfortable for a new jazz person. I can't remember which one it was. So never mind, don't listen to those. Start with Moanin'. There you go. That's a good Art Blakey start. These aren't bad, but they do have a little squeaky that might be hard for beginners. Then I was really happy because it's hard to find Lou Donaldson. I came across Alligator Boogaloo. I'm liking his stuff. It's a lot of funky, like R&B style, right? Is that the right term for jazz? Because he includes, right, there's guitar on here and organ. Yeah, see, he adds that organ. Lou Donaldson, all the albums I have by him have something a little bit different. Like Blues Walk has like conga and things like that. It gives a different jazz sound. It stays in the hard bop realm as far as I'm concerned, but it takes it a different level, but doesn't get like free jazz or anything. So this is a really good one. Alligator Boogaloo. Give it a listen. It's really good. Good jazz. You can see by the cover. You know, I like that cover. It's like very 60s looking, right? Then this was re-released. This is a Tone Poet, Midnight Creeper, Lou Donaldson Tone Poet. It's great. And you got her lady with the little cat there, and on the back side it continues, and there's the cat's face. But good album, good solid album. Really becoming a big Lou Donaldson fan. I'm starting to kind of listen to jazz long enough to kind of have I guess my heroes or the guys, my go-to guys. And right now it's like, it's been Blakey for a while. Lou Donaldson has been on the radar and he's growing now on me. There you go, The Night Creeper. And this has, who's on this one? So you have Lou Donaldson, Blue Mitchell, George Benson on guitar. And I'm not a big jazz guitar guy, but I like when they use jazz like they do here. Like when he does it in here, because it's not focused primarily on the guitar. The guitar is there to accompany everything. I like jazz guitar there. I don't like it's the tone of something of the jazz guitar. I always equate it with elevator music. And I know that's bad, but it just does. It doesn't do anything for me. I don't know. It just not enough. I don't know what it is, but when it's in there with the music and it comes in and does a little bit, comes down, I'm fine with it. So George Benson, Lonnie Smith, and Leo Morris on this one. And it's a nice gatefold. Yeah, very cool. And there you have Lou Donaldson. This plays tenor, alto sax on this. So Blue Mitchell is trumpet, Lou Donaldson is alto sax, George Benson guitar, Lonnie Smith organ, and Lee Morris drums. I like the way an organ will fill in a jazz song. It's a different feel. Very good one. I definitely recommend that one. Then, this guy's interesting. He's another jazz drummer. Elvin Jones. This is Polycurrents. This is more in the hard bop realm, kept it where I'm comfortable. He had another one that came out maybe last month, maybe December or November. Yeah, I believe it was Blue Note. Can't remember if it's a Tone Poet. But it was a lot different than this style. So you have to realize the evolution of your jazz artists too. And if you're able to grow with them, or if you have a stopping point. Sometimes I have a stopping point. Blakey's the only one I haven't had a stopping point. I have stuff from him, I think in the 70s, some in the early 80s, I believe. So he didn't get too far out there, so I was able to follow Blakey. Lou Donaldson, I'm not sure how far I'm going to go with him. I haven't listened to later stuff. But you have like Coltrane. I have a period I like with him, but then when he gets in the really free jazz stuff, he loses me. But anyway, Elvin Jones, this is a really good one. He has George Coleman on tenor sax, Joe Farrell tenor sax, bass flute, flute and English horn, Fred Tompkins on flute on Yes Only, Peter Adams baritone sax, Wilbur Little bass, Elvin Jones drums, that's your lead guy, and Candido Camero. Very cool. I like these jazz covers. They do a good job on these for the most part. There's your inside. So everything, I've listened to all these, very happy with these albums. So going to my wish list, this is one I've been looking for a while, and I was like, okay, I'm going through, let me look, and all of a sudden, boop, it pops up. Blue Stingrays. If you're not familiar with this is the Heartbreakers, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. I don't know, I think it was maybe around the Wildflowers time. I don't know if it was a little bit after, but they had a little time off or something. And they got together and did this. It's like 60s surf music. And I don't even know if they're credited on here anywhere. They kept it very like ambiguous. And, they made it look like it's this band that's been around for a while. The latest from America's premier surf combo. Well, they didn't exist before this, but great name for a band. Look at that, like straight out of the 60s. They make it look like it's, a band that's been around for a while. Look what you've been missing out on. So it's kind of like what George Harrison pulled with the Traveling Wilburys, right? Where he did volume 3 and there was never a volume 2. So people are out there probably today still looking for volume 2 of the Traveling Wilburys. Yeah, I don't even think they list any of the guys on here. See, and this is the other thing. I don't think these albums exist. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but they're showing like other albums by them. I don't think those albums are out there. I think this is it, but very cool. And one thing I did want to show you, really like the color of the vinyl on this. I don't really usually care about the color vinyl. It's cool to see, but they did a really nice job with the blue on this. I mean, it's just a nice, you can see me through there, just a nice looking album. Did a good job on there, but it is, Mike Campbell's lead guitar, and it's all this surf music. I believe they covered a couple of the songs on the Tom Petty Live at the Fillmore that came out last year. There's a couple instrumentals and surf songs on there. I haven't matched up the songs to the box set yet, but I'm assuming there's probably a couple songs from this that they did live at the Fillmore. Then this is one just to kind of fill in my Clapton collection. Backless I had a copy at one point, but it wasn't in good shape. I'd gotten rid of it, and this was brand new. So it's on 180 gram vinyl, and this contains the songs Walk Out in the Rain, Watch Out for Lucy, I'll Make Love to You. What's any big hits? I think Watch Out for Lucy was known. Roll It, Tell Me That You Love Me, If I Don't Be There by Morning. Early in the Morning Promises, I think that was a single. That I remember getting the sheet music to that, not even knowing the song when I was younger. Golden Ring and Tulsa Time. It's just right along that period of slow hand and all that. Keeps up with that. So if you like slow hand, you might want to check this one out. Kind of like in that feel of slow hand, that production. So if you liked how that album sounded, this one's very similar to all those albums right in that period. No Reason to Cry, Another Ticket. All those remind me of slow hand, that type of production, that sound. Then this one's been on my radar for a while. It was on my wish list. That was on my wish list because I have a bunch of Clapton. That I think I have 7 more Clapton albums I need to get to complete him. Kind of got it to go with the Clapton collection. It is a nice live album. It's not the greatest copy, but it's not the worst. It has some pops on there. I've cleaned it, probably cleaned it a couple more times, but it's been hard to find a decent copy of this. I've seen it before, but it was really bad. This one's pretty clean. Like I said, it's just a pop from, dust or whatever over the years. But Delaney and Bonnie and Friends on tour with Eric Clapton, and it's just it's a good live album. It's a fun album. And this is where Clapton was trying to kind of just not be Clapton. He was coming out of those major groups and just wanted to be a part of the band, but not the feature guy. I don't think there's anything major that came off of this, but it's they do a Little Richard medley at the end. That's pretty neat. But the whole album's good, and Bonnie has a really good soulful voice. I enjoyed that. This one, not on a wish list, but kinda, because if I like a Dylan album, I'm going to get it. I want to complete him. I don't know if I want to be a completist on Dylan. This one, Before the Flood, Bob Dylan and the Band. And it's a mixture of Dylan singing and band songs back and forth. This is Mobile Fidelity. It's regular speed, so it's cool. It's 2 albums, but it's just chock. I mean, it's just full of great songs. And I actually liked his version of Lay Lady Lay on here, because I can't do that voice that he used on it's a Nashville Skyline that he did Lay Lady Lay, but he was doing that, imitating Johnny Cash or something on that album, and that's just not Dylan. I want that hand to hand, Dylan. And that's this. And this is Dylan, not the perfect voice, just singing at the top of his lungs, letting it all out. And Lay Lady Lay comes much better on this. So this is definitely a version of the song that I like compared to the recorded version. But I mean, the songs on here, Most Likely, You'll Go Your Way and I'll Go Mine, Lay Lady Lay, Rainy Day Woman, Knocking on Heaven's Door, It Ain't Me Babe, Ballad of a Thin Man. I mean, it's just, the 4th one has All Along the Watchtower, Highway 61. Then you have the band songs, Up on Cripple Creek, I Shall Be Released, Endless Highway. It's a greatest hits live album. When Dylan's not singing, you got the, I don't know if he's just playing acoustic, what he did while the band played. If he just played acoustic and backup vocals, I don't know. I don't know if there's a live version of this, so I'm not sure. But when Dylan's singing, you have the band, because they were his backup band at one point. Very cool. Glad I picked this up, and I'm glad it's regular speed, because you got a lot of songs on here, and it's 2 albums, so really enjoyed it, and it sounds really good. No pops. Los Lobos is another one of those bands that are on my list. I don't have specific albums by them on my wish list, but I always keep an eye out for anything that comes up by them. And this one, it's an EP, I believe, because there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, there's like 7 songs on here that are solid. And this is probably around that time of La Bamba. It was 80 something, but every song on here, it's an upbeat album. It's called And a Time to Dance. You got the guys on the back. And because there's a version of Come On, Let's Go on here, and it's not the same version that's on La Bamba. La Bamba, I think they tried to keep it more like Richie Valens, like that true sound, because, they're trying to be him in that movie. But this is more like Los Lobos covering Come On, Let's Go. So that's very cool. But it has Let's Say Goodnight, Walking Song, and Selma, I believe it's pronounced. Come On, Let's Go. How Much Can I Do? Why Do You Do? And there's a Spanish song that I'm not going to try to pronounce. Right there. Everyone's great. That's what I like about Los Lobos. Even Los. trying to pronounce them correctly, Los Lobos. That's what I like about them, because even their songs in Spanish I love them. I think they're great. The emotion's there, the sound is there. So when they switch back and forth, like one of my favorite album by them is Good Morning Aslan, and that goes between English and Spanish back and forth, and I'm good all the way through with that album. Anyway, last one I picked up, very happy to finally get it. It is a reissue of Neil Young's Tonight's the Night. To me, this feels like a live album, but it's not, I guess. It's one of those albums that confuse me. But I guess it's not a live album. But it looks like a live album. It looks like a live album, but I don't think it's a live album. Parts of it feel live. It's like Freedom. It was a studio album, but it feels like a live album to me, but they're saying it's a studio album. So Neil messes with the boundaries, and I know he kind of recorded live, right? That was the thing to do in the 60s, 70s. The whole band was in the room and sort of got a live sound sometimes. But glad to get this, because every copy I found of this thing, and I don't think it was a gatefold originally. This one's a gatefold. But every copy I was finding before, it was like just bad shape. Couldn't find one that was, I'm pickier now. I know to wait and be patient and get the one you want. So I waited and just saw this. This was there the other day. I'm like, oh, it's on my wish list. So pick this up. This has Tonight's the Night, Speaking Out, World on a String, Come On Baby, Let's Go Downtown, Mellow My Mind. That's a great song. I like that song. Roll Another Number. Good song. Albuquerque, New Mama, Look Outside, Tired Eyes, Tonight's the Night. That starts with Tonight's the Night, into Tonight's the Night. And it's about addiction and things like that, people that were lost to it. Great album, so I was happy to get that. So those are my pickups basically for January. I'm getting there. I think I'm still on track, even though you stumble and fall, you still keep going, right? So my goal is to, even today when I finish this, I'm going to go ahead and keep going through my albums and listening to them and doing my thing. So that's what I have for you guys today. So if you know anything about those albums, anything I said that you can correct me on, or anything you can add to it, perfect. Put it in the comments. Love that part of this whole thing, is doing the comments. And until next time, hope you guys are enjoying your music, and you take care out there, all right? Bye.